Good day, colleagues, and good day, everyone. It's great to have all of you here. What is it that we are taking away from the women that marched all that long time ago? It's the fact that change happens if you actually act. And as Sasol, it is a day of remembrance and reflection for us. We need to pause and not only look at gender diversity across the company, but also look at an inclusive practice, an inclusive culture. We have as Sasol made really important strides in advancing gender equality and inclusion, which is not just a goal for us, but a fundamental commitment to drive positive change. For this reason, we chose fostering inclusion for all as our theme for Women's Month this year. In 1950 at Sasol, there were no women on our board. A stark contrast to today, we were proud to have 5 women board members with a female chairperson, Ms. Muriel Dube, leading us today. We advanced from 33% in 2018 to 50% women representation in the board in 2024. Globally, women represent 26% of our workforce, and we aim to exceed our target of 37% of female representation in South Africa in the near future. Furthermore, women now make up 28% of our leadership roles from 17% in 2018, contributing in a diverse fields including mining, operations, and other traditionally male-dominated positions. The GEC also has 22% female representation from 10% in 2018. We still face challenges that demand our continuous efforts and commitment, but we are not alone in this endeavor. We are inspired by the powerful examples of change and progress within our company, such as our long-standing support for Sasol Banyana Banyana, South Africa's senior national women's football team, and the wheelchair basketball in South Africa, and a whole lot of other programs that we do. Our commitment to women's football and wheelchair basketball goes beyond mere sponsorship. We aim to uplift young women, providing them with the tools to improve their lives through transformation of their lives through sports. By confronting gender issues, challenging societal norms, and expanding our mindsets, we create an environment where all women can reach their full potential. This is in turn strengthening our society and enhances our collective well-being. As Sasol, we are committed to diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging, and we remain steadfast on those commitments.
I just want to start off by saying that the opportunity that we get to have in living the Sasol values, we live them here internally, and we now get the opportunity to live them out there and share them with the rest of South Africa. And there's no better way than to do it through the women's national team, both in the football space as well as wheelchair basketball. So thank you so much, ladies, for putting us the opportunity to share you with the rest of our Sasol colleagues.
I coached in the Sasol League, and back in the day we used to run out teams from our pockets, and Sasol would give you prize money, Sasol would give you kit, Sasol would give you equipment, you'd also get traveling allowance, and many clubs, we really strategically worked with that so that our money would spread. And without that, I don't think, to be honest, there'd be women's football, because many teams rely on that money that comes in, because many of them with today's climate cannot afford to run the club from their own pocket. I will say you were brave, because there were not many sponsors that were brave at the time. You were brave and came into women's football. Now you have 4 successive COSAFA Cups, you have 2 successive World Cups, round of 16, we're the African champions, you have many individual awards, and as a sponsor, I mean, you couldn't have asked for more, but the lives you have changed. I think that for me is the most important thing. When I sit with players and they tell me they've saved so much money, sorry, I'm getting emotional now, they've saved so much money to buy bricks to build. That tells me the difference that Sasol has made. Not the trophies, not the trophies, not the medals. For me, that's a bonus. They can say that through Sasol, other opportunities have been created for them. Not in my wildest imagination would I've ever thought a country ranked in the 50s would play the number 1 ranked team in the USA 3 or 4 times. Never. 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 They have become the role models now, which we didn't have. I had male role models. Now that young girl out there can look up to Kaylin, can look up to Fifi, can look up to Tembi, because when you speak to them, that's who they want to be. And that's why I always say we have to have an attitude of gratitude for what Sasol has done for women's football.
that is what the Sasol sponsorship means. It means to be seen and to be chosen right off the bat. Because within disability, it's such an evolving concept in our country that there are still a lot of barriers. In wheelchair basketball, in other sports as well, we don't just work with athletes, we work with people's lives. So it's not just the player, it's people's lives. So I think having a big brand like Sasol support us is just incredible and powerful, and it speaks to not just the lives of the athletes on court, but their families, and for the future athletes that are still in school, still playing basketball. And I think it also speaks to the community to say that there could be someone like Sasol who can support such a niche sport. Like wheelchair basketball is very niche in our country. To say that we could put you out there, we can give you a stepping stone to, first of all, not even just show up, but to also keep up with the rest of the world.
For me, my encounter with everyone that I've met at Sasol, they are good people. Their hearts are pure. They know what they want, and they give their everything because they know what it is to, sacrifice a lot of things. And, there's a campaign of Live the Impossible. I think that one stands out for me because a lot of us, when we started playing in the Sasol League, and if I look back at that time to now, how much the league has grown, but also the fact that we've progressed from the Sasol League into the National League, into, Banyana, and globally, going to these tournaments. But just Sasol in a whole, they've created the opportunity for us to really thrive as not just footballers, but as people outside of the sport. They allow us to, speak about our background and where we come from, because a lot of it starts at the Sasol League. Believe it or not, we all come from that league. And, to think that we are where we are now, that shows that they've supported us. They stuck with us when the things were bad, real bad. Sasol stuck with us because they saw a vision. We are living our dreams right now because of them.
Each and every one of you makes a contribution to exactly that, because without all of you, it wouldn't be possible to be able to have opportunities that we give to the team like Banyana Wheelchair Basketball. At the end of the day, they get to be the ones who represent South Africa, and that is a part of each and every one of us who's sitting here.
Just takeaways and how we have seen working with wheelchair basketball as well as working with Banyana and working with the league. What is it that is, in terms of values, that match between that? First is the determination and the inclusion in the leadership style, and that was an absolute great takeaway of how you include everyone, even when you remain in leadership and you take the decision finally. We heard about the impact on families. One of the things about Sasol, you'll hear us say Sasol families. We will always take cognizance of where we operate, and the reason why we want to have a safe operations in the company is because we actually want everybody to go back to their families and their loved ones. The other one is a national impact. We know as Sasol the role that we play in society, and in our total ecosystem we have over 500,000 people that are touched by the Sasol ecosystem, and that is not small. And that is just in our ecosystem, let alone the 5,000, 6,000 girls that are playing in the league and the families that we've touched through Banyana. So we always look at what is the footprint of Sasol and what difference do we make in society. Over 5% of the GDP of this country, and over 10% of the contribution that you make to the fiscus, especially with tax. And we definitely live the impossible. If we started 75 years ago and we didn't believe that we can make synthetic fuels from coal, I don't know where this nation could be. So imagine the heritage we have inherited of living the impossible. So thank you so much for this afternoon, and thank you to our guests, thank you to the GEC. Be resilient and be safe. Thank you. Go well. Cheers.